Welcome to this published author's interview. My name is Kenneth Muyingo, and with me I have a special guest that I will be interviewing. First, I just want to mention, if you watch this interview and you would like to write a book yourself, to become an author and write your first book, there's a link with the interview for you to join the group, become an author and write your first book, to connect with like-minded people who are doing the same. And with that said, I would like to get into the interview by asking my guest to say hello to our viewers and to introduce himself.
Hello everyone, my name is Shivendra Kapoor. I am from Mumbai in India, and I'm coming up with my debut book, that is Answers and Beyond, that is being published by Crosswords publishing arm, that is the Right Place Publishing. So this would be my debut book. It took me around 4.5 years to write, edit, select the publisher, print it, and get it out. Considering the 6-8 months lockdown period, because of the blessings of coronavirus as well. So I have to add that. Otherwise, the book would have been out around the first week of March itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Answers and Beyond.
Right. Answers and Beyond.
Congratulations, Shivendra.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you.
That's been quite a journey. If somebody's watching this interview and they would like to know more about Shivendra, what can you share with them?
Okay. I am a true Sagittarian. I am an instrumentation and control systems engineer from Mumbai University with around 17 years of professional industry experience in instrumentation design, detail engineering, site activities and all. Currently, my job profile is that I work with a company in India, and I deal with the prevention of explosion in industries by visiting sites and doing a lot of audits, so that we come to know what is the lacuna in the automation part which the company should be considering, so that there are no catastrophic industry accidents that can be prevented. Rather, you must be hearing of lot of industry accidents that are happening.
Indeed.
A very recent one was the styrene gas leak or the ammonium nitrate explosion in Lebanon that happened. So these are all to be put together called as process safety incidents. So these incidents occur very rarely, but once they occur, they are always catastrophic in nature.
Indeed.
So that is my basic professional job profile. Other than that, I am a die-hard fan of Vedic astrology. I have been studying it past almost 18 years now, and I am a writer at heart, almost 10-15 years in writing. I mean, if I would like to put it together, writing, engineering and astrology all have started together in my life.
Wow.
So it's a combo journey that is working together, and I like to help people to the best that I can. I have, to be very honest, that Vedic astrology, I cannot do anything for me. It doesn't work for me, rather, to be in the true sense. But it has helped a lot of people. I mean, I do get intuition, or I get some calls from the universe that, okay, you have to help this person. You do so and so, you speak so and so, and this would be beneficial to people. And to be very honest, in this pandemic situation, a couple of people approached me with their problems. I mean, some of them were life-threatening problems.
Yeah.
So people said that, can you look at my horoscope or my chart?
Yeah.
And suggest me something if you can help me out to come out of this problem.
Yeah.
So I would say that I have not practiced astrology professionally, but I have been reading books. I have been watching various interviews. I love to dig deep into secrets that have been told by the ancient sages in India some thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So at times I have seen that whatever I've spoken to people, it has come out to be true. And a couple of people were able to come out of their COVID problems.
Yeah.
The remedies that I have told them, it was very simple.
Yeah.
But within 2 days, they said that I am discharged from the hospital.
Yeah. Wow.
Has worked to this level. Even I am surprised, even because I never knew that this remedy would work for them.
Yeah.
It just came to my mind, okay, you have to speak this.
Yeah.
and the person called me after 2 3 days that I am out of the hospital. Suddenly the fever has vanished.
That's
Now
amazing.
whether it is because of this solution that I've told them and they have done it with
Yeah,
true what you say, it is with true dedication that they have done. That is
yeah,
what that it is a very simple thing. See, I told them that you take a coconut, put it on your head, and put it and just put it in the temple.
yeah.
It's simple as that. And the person said after 2 days the fever has vanished.
Wow.
It is not just one case; it is 2 or 3 cases that has happened.
Yeah,
And believe me, those all those people who came to me, they have a very similar planetary configuration that is actually running in their charts. Very
yeah.
similar.
Wow. That's
Uh,
amazing,
that's
Shivendra.
amazing. Yeah, that is really
Quite
amazing
a
for me.
profile. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for sharing that. And I think right
thanks.
now, more than ever, the world needs more solutions like this because
Exactly.
life as we knew it has been disrupted. And man,
Absolutely.
what you do for work? So the for example, the kind of accident that happened in Lebanon, what
Right.
you do is to make sure that things like that don't happen.
Absolutely. Yes.
That was very catastrophic.
Very catastrophic.
Uh,
Very, very catastrophic.
wow. But thank you
This is
so
what.
much for making time for this.
Oh, no, no. It's my pleasure, and thanks for asking me this question. I mean, uh, as we move ahead in the interview, you would be asking me about my book and all. So
Yeah.
the in itself is actually a mystery that has
Yeah.
happened to me. So you can carry on with with your questions. Otherwise, I would keep on speaking. So I have.
I love this. It's because this is your moment. I thank you
Yeah.
so much. So
Yes.
let's talk about your book, Answers and Beyond. Let's see
Right.
the book again.
Yes. Here it is. I mean, in the
Very
back,
beautiful. Very
see
beautiful cover.
all the books. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So
Thank you.
tell us about
Yeah.
Answers and Beyond and the vision that you have for this book.
Okay. Before I speak about the vision and other aspects, Answers and Beyond happened naturally to me. See, I have been writing a lot of short stories, contributing to anthologies, and similar sorts of things past
Yeah,
10 15 years. They have been published in various books, in magazines, in newspapers like Times of India, in Strategic Publishing House in New York, in Bloomsbury in India last year. So these have happened in piecemeal basis.
yeah,
But I was actually thinking since a very long time that I should be writing a book together under my name, where I am the author. I know what I am going to put inside it. It's going to come out of me. My
yeah,
experience will be coming out. So it happened. See, what happened is that while traveling to my work in Mumbai in India, I use public transport, a local bus.
yeah,
On the way to my office, it's almost 22 kilometers away. There is a crematorium that comes in the way, a Hindu crematorium.
yeah,
And as per our tradition, we burn the human bodies. We do not bury them,
yeah,
unlike in other traditions.
yeah,
So I was sitting watching outside the window, and there was a burning pyre. I mean, someone had expired, and as per the cremation rules, he was being burnt. I could see I could see the flames that were coming out of his burning body. There was an instant message or a spark that actually came to me that I should be writing something for something that should motivate people, something that should help people come out of their problems, something that should give them that booster dose to find a solution to their most bothering problems.
yeah,
It actually came. It was a very what you say, a very nascent thought at that moment. It was just
yeah,
a spark. Some thoughts were just hovering around me.
yeah,
And if you happen to read the book, in the book, in the dedication section, if you
yeah,
can see my screen,
yeah,
there are two simple sentences that the book is dedicated to that unknown soul that inspired me to write this book. I mean, it is not dedicated to anyone else. It
yeah,
is to unknown soul. I don't know who was that person. What was that soul trying to tell me? Was it trying to tell me to write this book? Was it trying to tell me something else? Was it trying to really give me some message? I don't know. but this thought is what I have shared with you was there around me. The aura was there around me,
Yeah.
and as a habit, I always keep on jotting down my thoughts in my mobile phone.
Yeah.
I immediately jotted it down because I have a tendency to forget those things.
Yeah.
It just comes in a flash. And if you see in my board, I have
Yeah.
a lot of yellow stickers that are there. So these
Yeah.
are all random thoughts that keep on coming to me. I try to jot it down.
Amazing.
So I mean, anything that I do, I meet with a lot of obstacles. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but it happens to me. So the book also met with a lot of obstacles, as usual. I mean, nothing new in that. But with the as I started writing this book, certain events started unfolding before me of my own life.
Yeah.
Because the basic premise of the book is that everybody as human beings has got a lot of questions in their life, because we are
Yeah.
all things, we are all governed by materialistic things, and we are also spiritual in nature. Now in some people spirituality would be at 80%, materialism would be at say 20-30%. Some people it would be 100 and 0, or vice
Yeah.
versa, whatever is
Yeah.
there. So it's
Yeah.
all dependent on our karma or our actions that we have done in our past life and what we are doing in this life. So everything happens because of a reason.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. So the question that we have in our life, say for example, I have a question: why is the book being delayed? I don't know why.
Yeah.
Last year my mother was not well, she was hospitalized, the
Yeah.
book process got delayed. When I was ready, I had to travel urgently for my office work to a site, to an engineering site. It was an urgency, client said that you have to come. So
Yeah.
I had postponed the progression of this book. Then once I came back, I said no, I am going to launch this book on my wife's birthday on 16th of March.
Yeah.
When coronavirus came in, the entire world started in a lockdown starting from March. So I mean, whatever I did, there was an obstacle in that. So there
Yeah.
was it was telling me, no, you have to wait for a certain reason. And I understood during this lockdown period what was the reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Wow.
very intense. I cannot share it, but similar incidents have happened with me. And the thought is that the questions that we have at the superficial level, at this human body level, may not be the actual question that is bothering inside you by your soul. There is something different.
Yeah.
See, I face obstacles throughout my life for one reason or the other. I don't know why.
Yeah.
This, the obstacle that I'm facing is not the root question. The root
Yeah.
question inside me. It is something different. So, with the help of during the journey of writing this book, certain questions from my soul came out of me,
Yeah.
and that is the bothering question. So the if you see this line, what is the most bothering question in your life,
Wow.
and can you find the answer to it?
Yeah.
So my journey, my mysterious journey, is actually written down in this book in the form of in the prologue.
Yeah.
So in the prologue, I have given us very simple method that actually worked for me.
Yeah.
How to connect with your soul without doing any nonsense,
Yeah.
without any nonsense activity. It is just purely following certain steps. Try to connect with your soul. I have given down step by step in some 2 or 3 pages. If it helps, you would be able to know the most bothering question in your life, because of which so many questions are coming out in your life in different ways.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it is that, I mean, the book is mysterious. That is the reason the person who has written the foreword, Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai,
Yeah.
he's a very well-known author in India,
Yeah.
and he has written around 16 books on corporate leadership, on
Yeah.
championship and all. So he has said that the book is actually a spiritual thrilling mystery.
Wow.
Certain incidents or certain chapters in this book, they are difficult to digest.
Yeah.
It may sound that it is fictional. I mean,
Yeah.
some elements are fictional, I do agree, because I cannot share all the intense moments that have happened with me.
Yeah.
People find it very difficult to absorb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, some names, some places, something or that sort has been changed
Yeah.
to make it more appealing to people. That is what I would like to say.
Wow, that's quite amazing. So
Yeah.
you have just shared with us what inspired you to write the book, The Unknown Soul.
Yes.
That you just saw this fire burning,
Yes.
and the idea came to you.
This fire burning is the actual scene.
Oh my goodness.
This is the book cover. You see the question mark.
Yeah,
So inside that question mark, you see the fire that is
I see
burning.
the fire burning. Now I get it. Oh my.
Yes, yes. So everything is related, and
Yeah,
if you watch it very deeply inside this
I see there's a
fire,
face.
yes, exactly. This is that unknown soul that motivated me to write. I don't know who that person is, but you see
Yeah,
that.
I do see the face. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. So that phase is actually embossed. It is actually, I told the publisher that you should make it quite prominent and visible so
yeah,
that you can actually feel that face. If you
yeah,
touch this, you can feel that face.
yeah.
It is
Wow,
embossed. It is embossed.
amazing.
Yeah. So
Wow,
everything is actually related to this.
everything is. I see what you
Yeah.
mean, Shivendra,
Yeah.
and also like the vision that you have for this book. It's quite deeply. I think it's a very essential topic in the world that we're living in today, because
Yes.
many people right now find themselves at sort of what we could call like crossroads.
Yes.
They have many questions and few answers. But from what I understand from what you're saying is that sometimes we are asking the wrong question. So if somebody
And
is
yes.
watching us right now and
Yes.
they find themselves in this place that they're asking questions, but they're not finding the answers to the questions they're asking, what would you share
Yes.
with them knowing what you know from Answers and Beyond?
Okay. With my journey while writing Answers and Beyond, there are so many superficial questions in my life which are actually useless, and I am running behind them for no reason.
Yeah,
That is the reason we are not able to find the answers to the questions that actually need to be answered. So
yeah,
that answer to that one question will solve so many problems in our lives. But we actually don't know what is that question because we are not connected to our soul.
yeah.
We are connected everything materialistically. Everything is materialistic in nature. So
Wow.
that spiritual inclination has to come. That spiritual connect with the soul has to come. So in the book, when you read the prologue, in the end there is a sentence that how will the reader actually come to know that whatever I have written in the prologue is true. So I have answered that. Even I had this question because I was not able to relate to that. Am I actually seeing my soul in front of me?
Yeah,
So I actually saw on the side wall of my room that I could see myself in my soul's image laughing at me or smiling at me. So the
wow.
thing is, how can your own soul tell lies to you? It cannot happen.
Yeah,
So this is what is the justification or the authentication that yes, I am able to relate to my soul. Maybe it would be for a fraction of a second,
yeah,
but you will be able to connect and you will get some solution. It may
yeah,
not be 100%, it may be 10%, but
yeah.
that 10%, mind me, Kenneth, it would help you to come out of lot of questions that are there in your life.
Indeed, indeed. Wow.
Yes.
And you shared also something that is very, I think, very important. That when you got the idea while you are on the bus, you wrote something down, and you
Yes.
also have all those notes back there. What
Yes.
would you say is the benefit of you having written down this idea or having to write down notes? How do you feel that that helps you with your productivity?
Okay. See, uh, the way in which I get thoughts in my mind, they are very random and they do not occur to me always.
Yeah,
Most of my thoughts, most of my book writing or article writing or story writing has been done only during my travels.
yeah,
Now, you may call it some astrological connection, some planetary movements that come together. But when I am sitting in my home, I
Yeah.
rarely do get some thoughts. So, what I have learned over my writing journey of 10-15 years is that the thoughts that instantly strike you from somewhere by looking at some object, or like in my case, by looking at that burning body, that spark is so strong,
Yeah.
thought is so strong that once I write it down, even if it is just a word,
Yeah.
say for example, struggling in the bus is
Yeah.
what I've written down. So once I write it down and I stick it in my sticky board,
Yeah.
once I am bored or I'm feeling sleepy or I am not in the frame of mind to do anything, I
Yeah.
just look at those words and I stare at them. It actually takes me to that situation where I've written that thought or
Yeah.
the sentence. So it helps me build my plot or my storyline or my paragraph,
Yeah.
and helps me build on that story. This is how I work.
Wow, that's a very powerful creative process, Shivendra. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that. And
it's a pleasure.
wow, this is this is very powerful stuff. And if somebody is watching us right now and
Yes,
they find themselves struggling, they feel like because of what has happened with the coronavirus, maybe they were like what you mentioned that you had planned to publish the book in March on your wife's birthday and it didn't happen, and then
right.
because of the coronavirus and many people's businesses have been disrupted,
Yes.
jobs have been lost, some people have lost loved ones. What can you share with them with your experience of answers and beyond?
Okay. See, this is a very difficult question because coronavirus has eaten away so much from everyone's life that we really don't know. We may be speaking something, but deep within what people are experiencing, who have lost their loved ones
Yeah.
specifically this time, is very very difficult to explain.
Yeah.
So, what I would like to say is that it is a very good method to write down your emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
It's a very good method to write down. In a lot of spiritual practices like in pranic healing or ho'oponopono or different other methods, every in everything they say that you should write down your emotions, write down your feelings, write down certain thoughts that are actually bothering you. Maybe while in the process of writing you may shed some tears. It will help you to uh, drain out that negativity and get some moments of peace.
Yeah.
I would like to share with you a real life incident with me when I was
Yes,
doing
please.
in my engineering time, almost in the year 1999 or in the year 2000.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for one of my engineering exam, that was mathematics. I'm not good at it. I'm
Yeah.
very So I was 300% sure that I am going to fail in this exam.
Yeah.
The exam was going to start around 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I was studying. I was trying to revise or whatever I could do best. But I was not able to recollect all the concepts, all the equations, and all those things. And I
Yeah.
was 300% sure it was coming to me in my heart that you are going to fail today.
Yeah.
uh, and I had never failed in my life in any of my previous exams.
Yeah.
But here that thought was it. The message was coming that you are going to fail, Shivendra. Be it X, Y, or Z reason, you are going to fail. And I was not able to accept that situation
Yeah.
because I had failed in my life previously. I had always either passed with distinction or with first class
Yeah.
or with maybe higher percentages, somewhat plus and minus, but never failed in a
Yeah.
subject or in any year. Now this was a challenging situation for me. Believe me, uh, I was writing down something, some equation, and it came to me that ask help from God. I was writing down something again, but I was not able to concentrate on that equation,
Yeah.
despite knowing that I am going to fail. Believe me, I closed my eyes and I prayed to my ancestors. I prayed to them that please come and help me in whatever way you can. I beg, but please help me.
Yeah.
You will not believe, in the next 15 minutes, in this same room that you're seeing,
Yeah.
this an enclosed a mini office that I've built during this coronavirus time,
Yeah.
so that I can sit and do my office work as well as my writing work.
Yeah.
But these window glasses were not there. It was an open balcony. This
Yeah.
is the balcony where I'm sitting. It was open balcony. Two pigeons, two pigeons landed on this desk where you are seeing this book, Answers and Beyond.
Yeah.
This is a table actually.
Yeah.
They landed on. There was no table over here, but it was a railing.
Yeah.
So they landed over there, and I cried in front of them. They walked inside my room and did nothing, and they just flew back.
Wow.
And believe me, the book that was there in my hands, it was a very thick mathematics and statistics book. I see the it is very difficult to believe this, but it has happened practically with me, and
Yeah.
I've experienced it happening. So that means there is something, there is some message from the universe that flows around us.
Yeah.
It is up to us whether we catch it or we consider it as fiction or we consider it as nonsense. It is up to
Yeah.
us. It works. Now what happened is that I opened this book. I opened the mathematics book
Yeah.
and opened the page that came in front of me. It was a 500-page mathematics book. I just opened that. I read two problems and I closed the book. I went for the exam. You won't believe, Kenneth, exactly those two problems came in the question paper for 32 marks. I passed the exam with, I mean, I did not score good,
Yeah.
definitely, could not blow my trumpet. I passed with some 40-45 marks. The
Yeah.
passing marks were 40 out of 100, but I didn't fail in that exam.
Wow.
This is the power of the universe.
Amazing. Amazing story. Thank you
Now
so
it
much for
is
sharing. That's very
it is very
powerful.
difficult to believe, but it has happened. See, when I'm speaking this, you can see all the, I
Yeah.
mean, hair on my hand, my
Yeah.
body, it's actually on. I mean, everything is, you can see the hair on my
Yeah.
hand standing.
It's
It's
a very powerful story,
it's
and I
very powerful.
believe you.
It's very powerful.
It takes how can I say consciousness for us to be aware of signs like this, because
Yes, and it
sometimes we are
works.
not aware of even what's going on in our own environment. But if you are conscious of what's going on, then when things like this happen, you can easily see them and press them. Wow, that's very powerful. Thank you so much. So
Thank
when you got the idea to write the book on the books, and you wrote down the notes that you wrote on your phone, and you came home, and uh, was there sort of a journey for you to decide on the topic for the book, or was it clear from the beginning?
There was nothing that was clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
I wrote, I mean, I wrote the middle chapter first because it was very intense.
Yeah.
I was stuck in between while writing. See, because of my profession, I have to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So whenever I used to get time in hotel rooms or while traveling in aircraft, on roads, on the railway station, wherever I used to get time, I used to write. I
Yeah.
never wasted my time. But the thing is that there was no the topic was not decided.
Yeah.
The book name was not decided. The inside content was hovering around. It was changing like anything,
Yeah.
because there were too many things that were happening in my life during
Yeah.
that time. And in one particular day, I was frustrated, rock bottom frustrated. You may call it as writer's block.
Yeah.
And I thought that I should drop the idea of completing this book.
Yeah.
And then I left everything. I left all my stationery, my work, and I just went. There is a forest nearby my house. I stay in a place where there are hills and there is a forest.
Yeah.
forest where you can walk down at
Yeah.
time. So I just went in the forest and I sat there in early in the morning, and I was just thinking that I should drop the idea of completing this book because it is not working. I
Yeah.
am lot of difficulties, lot of struggles are there. But at that moment, actually, I got the content to write the back cover of the book, and I didn't have any pen, paper, anything. I came back home running because I knew that by the time I would reach back home, things would be out of my mind.
Yeah.
Because in the forest, I saw a very small temple, maybe the size of a laptop,
Yeah.
and there was a small light that was burning. Someone
Yeah.
had done some prayers over there.
Yeah.
So I was just staring at that blankly, nothing in my mind. But that instant thought came to me that this should be the back cover content of your book. And then
Wow.
journey started again.
Then
So
the inspiration came back to
yes,
continue writing.
yes,
Wow,
yes,
that's
yes. So I came back and believe me, in flat 2 hours, the back cover content was written. I was struggling to complete it since 6, 8 months.
yeah.
In 2 hours, this back content cover was ready. It was not rejected by the publisher. There were hardly any changes, maybe some grammatical changes that
Yeah.
the editor did in the back cover part. It was
Yeah.
accepted in one go.
Wow. That's
So
that's that's
some many
amazing.
things.
Quite powerful stories. I'm so glad we made time for this interview,
Yes,
Shivendra.
yes,
And listening to you, you mentioned that you have been writing short stories and
yeah,
articles for a very long time.
yes.
Um, do you consider yourself as a naturally talented writer, or would you say that writing is a skill that you have developed over time?
Okay. See, I am not a naturally talented writer at all.
Yeah.
I was very bad in my English in my school days. Very bad.
Yeah.
I was my local language, but I was very bad in English. I had severe grammar issues. I
Yeah.
used to take help of my sister. I am
Yeah.
very grateful to my sister for that because she is a doctor, but she was very good in literature, in language, and other things.
Yeah.
So used to copy her essays. I mean, and then used to ask her, please edit and change some sentences in that.
Yeah.
That's how I developed myself in English. Then I started facing problems in my engineering in terms of communication in English.
Yeah.
Because in engineering, you have to be more communicative to speak out your ideas, your
Indeed.
thoughts, and everything. Yeah. So at that time, I realized that there is a big, what do you say, a big thing that I need to work on, that is on my communication. And from that point onwards, you won't believe I have till that time I had never read a novel in my life, never ever.
Yeah.
And neither did I had the habit of reading any newspaper or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
But that thought in my engineering time, it actually hit me so hard that you are so weak in your communication, you are so poor in your uh, English literature in terms of writing assignments and all, that you really need to work on it. So
Yeah.
from that point of time, I actually started developing my skill sets. I have a big fat book. If I have it, I can show it to you.
Yeah.
See, this is my writing book that I maintain
Yeah.
with all my sentences, my
Yeah. Wow.
extra things and all. It is very fair, and there are three more like this.
Wow.
So I, from that point of time, whenever I get a good sentence or a good thought, I do make it a point to jot it down.
Yeah.
Because see, at times we are stuck up with completing our sentences.
Yeah.
So it is not possible to read through the entire stuff again and again.
Yeah.
Again, the same thought. Just open a page, look at it. You may get a thought. You may get a
Yeah.
sentence completed, and that is how it works. So that is how
Wow.
I developed myself, and I believe that at the moment as well, I am not that good in my writing, in my communication, in my English. I am still working on it, but the best that I can do to take it ahead, to take my journey ahead, I'm doing it.
Amazing. Thank you
And
so
I would,
much.
yeah, yeah.
You were saying something?
I would encourage others also who may feel that they are not that good in writing, but this can be developed over a period of time. And definitely at times there would be instances of deep frustration, writer's block.
Yeah,
But at that moment, please keep all your stuff aside. Do what you enjoy the most at that moment of time,
yeah,
because we may be overwhelmed by certain situations
yeah,
and we may not be able to come out of it, but doing the thing that you love the most, like when I'm stuck up with writing, I do read a lot of astrology during that time, or I watch certain astrological videos because
yeah,
it helps me recharge.
yeah, yeah.
So I think others can also learn from this and practice what they love the most when they are stuck up with writer's block or any other hindrances.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And you have shared quite a lot, Shivendra, and I'm so glad we did this because there's so much value that you're sharing. Um, you mentioned the experience on the bus, and
Yes.
then the earlier writings that you started with, the articles, and your journey with developing your vocabulary and the research that you're doing, all with the writing of notes and making notes on your phone. But I'm curious, what would you tell me is the one thing that has happened to you personally that has had the greatest impact on you writing? And now having published questions and answers and beyond. I mean, answers and beyond.
Personally, I mean, there are so many instances that have happened in my life,
Yeah,
and some of them are too very difficult to believe.
yeah,
I rarely share those things with anyone, but I think every story that I've written, be
yeah,
it in Answers and Beyond, or be it in my previous short stories or articles, they are all related to my life.
yeah,
Like in the previous story that I had contributed for in a book published by Bloomsbury, that is Dear People with Love and Care, Your Doctors. It's a book on doctor-patient relationship.
yeah,
So my story is actually a true story in there. I had severe health problems
yeah,
and I was not able to come out of it.
yeah,
And one fine day, I met a doctor. He told me that better you go to an astrologer and get yourself examined. I went to an astrologer. That astrologer said that you better go to a doctor who has a typical permutation combination of planets in their horoscope. I said that it's very difficult for me to find that way. He said, I know one. Go to that doctor. And that doctor is not that famous.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's he didn't do anything specific, just gave me some medicines and said that you have to wait, it will get solved over a period of time.
yeah,
So I realized that that doctor had a typical combination of Uranus or Neptune
yeah,
in, because they are tricky planets, they
yeah,
are differently on their axis unlike
yeah,
other planets. So it took me some time, but I was able to come out of that problem. So
yeah.
that's actually there in that book from the patient's perspective.
I
So
see.
everything is actually very strange in my life. It's happening. I use that to write my story or to complete it or to motivate others, to motivate myself, because even I get dejected a lot many times in my life.
Yeah,
Rather, first story in my life that I wrote for a newspaper was actually out of deep frustration because of my boss when
yeah,
I as a trainee.
yeah.
He actually looking at that article, he said, "What bullshit have you written? It doesn't work this way."
That's what he said.
That's what he said on my face in front of everyone. But it was a big hit for me. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm very deeply saddened that what is he saying? That this bullshit doesn't work. Don't write such nonsense. These
yeah.
were words very similar. But
Wow.
I said that okay. I mean, this is what he is feeling of my article. But others
Yeah,
are. I mean, a big newspaper like Times of India, if they are ready to accept this article and they are ready to publish it, who is he to say? There are thousands of people who may be saying like this,
yeah.
but appeals to you, what you feel from inside, what is the best thing that makes you happy, please do it. So I
Wow.
continue the journey.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
sharing
Ken.
that. And now that you have finished to publish Answers and Beyond, are you currently working on any other books?
Not currently on any other book, but the same thing, some random thoughts, jotting down something whenever I get time.
Yeah,
And but definitely anything that I write will have two or three elements in common. One is some element of astrology in it, some element of spiritual connection in it, and some message for someone who may benefit from my personal experiences in my life. It would be something moving around that concept only.
I see.
Nothing exactly specific. I mean, just jotting down, trying to frame out something, and let me see how it goes.
Most definitely. Wow, this was very inspiring and very powerful, Shivan. I'm so glad we made time for it. Where can people buy your book, Answers and Beyond?
Okay, this book I think would be out in the market around end of this week. It would be available on Amazon worldwide. It would be available on the Right Place Publishing, that is the name of the publisher. It would be available in Crosswords bookstores in India and Amazon worldwide and Flipkart,
Very nice.
taken over by Walmart.
We will put the links with the interview so
Yeah,
that people can access them
yeah.
and buy the book.
Yes, yes, we can do that.
And I'm inquiring if somebody wants to connect with you when they watch this
Yes,
interview, what's
yeah.
the best way for them to connect with you?
Okay, good question. In the book, I have mentioned my email address where I have requested people to share their experiences
Yeah,
when they follow the method that is given in the prologue.
yeah,
Because not everyone may same experience. Some may be able to connect with their soul instantly. Some may not be able to connect. Some may have a very different experience altogether. So I
yeah.
actually want to know their experiences. So I have mentioned my email address. However, people can connect with me on my LinkedIn profile, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, or specifically on an email address I have created for this book, Answers and Beyond. I would share it with you. You can post it on the interview links.
Very nice. We'll put the links also to your social media with the interview
Yeah,
so that people can connect with you.
yeah.
Before we finish the interview, Shivendra, is there anything else you'd like to share that I have not been able to address in the interview?
I think, Kenneth, I'm really thankful to you from the bottom of my heart that you have given me your time. You have accepted this request, and we are able to connect and share. You were listening very patiently to all my experiences. I think you have covered everything, nothing more than this. Would be really thankful to you as well as to all the viewers who would be watching this interview. Request you to please go ahead and take this book in your hands. This book is priced very reasonably. In India, it's priced at rupees 200. That would be around, say, maybe $2-3 US dollars when it's available outside. Possibly, I am not sure what would be the costing, but in India, it's made very cheap so that people can grab a copy of the book. I have made the book of only around 120-30 pages so that people are not bored. Only the real content is written. All nonsense is not there in this book.
Yeah,
Only that part is edited completely. Otherwise, it would have been a 500-page book
yeah,
because so many experiences that I had to share. But I have trimmed it. The editor has done a wonderful job, and he has made it concise because sometimes spiritual content or content related to life and death can be too heavy on a person.
indeed.
So even people who don't believe in God, don't believe in spirituality, I think people would be able to connect with this book. They would be able to derive something, if not everything, maybe even if it changes the life of one person, Kenneth, one person in this universe. I think this book would have done the job, and I would be
Amazing.
very thankful to that, to people who would be buying it. Please do share your reviews on Amazon, whatever it may be. It may be good, bad, ugly, but please do share it. Maybe it will help me to improve my writing skills, to write better, to take care of those lessons learned from you guys, from the negativity, from the criticism that I receive, as well as from the positivity, to put it forward in my next edition of this book or in my next book, whatever comes out. I don't know. That is up to in the hands of God. It's
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Shivendra.
Thank
This was
you,
wonderful. And I will sure be
thank you,
keeping
Kenneth.
in touch with you.
Sure, sure, Kenneth. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you
Welcome.
a happy day and a life ahead.
Thank you.